On today's Northwest Cooks, we're going to be joined by Steve from Buster's BBQ. And since it's barbecue season, we're going to get rubbing some chicken. We're going to show you how to make the rub and how to put it on. We're going to do the same with a big piece of brisket. We're also going to do a rub for baby back ribs. And then we're going to show you how to cut a piece of meat and the best parts. It's all barbecues. There's no veggies in today's show. Oop, I've got my apron on, which means it must be time to sizzle. Welcome to this week's episode of Northwest Cooks. I'm Nick Miles, and we are in our Bradley Design and Education Center, where you can find all your Wolf and Sub-Zero products. And this week, Cisco bring us a legend of the barbecue world, Steve from Buster's. My friend, tell me a little bit about Buster's Barbecue.
We've been in operation since July 6, 1982. We have 3 locations in the Portland area. Milwaukee is the first one on McLaughlin Boulevard. And we have one in Gresham, on Division and Burnside at the Hood Shopping Center, and one on Pacific Highway.
So you have 3 beautiful locations and known for the barbecue. Now, we talked a little bit before we got started today. You were telling me that barbecue is kind of always in your blood, something that you always did at home?
Always did at home in the backyard, and the neighbors really seemed to like it. So we just decided it was the best thing if we opened a restaurant, because I was kind of not doing anything at the time. My brother had been in the restaurant business for years, and we just thought it would be a good opportunity.
We're going to make 3 different things today. We may get to more if we have time. What are the 3 things that we're going to aim to make?
Well, I was going to do a chicken rub. It's a combination chicken rub marinade. Then I was going to do a meat seasoning for you that I use on ribs. You can use it on brisket, basically any type of meat that you want. If we have time, we might get to a mopping sauce, but I really wanted to show you how to prep some ribs, get them rubbed down. I also have a cooked brisket that I'd like to show how you trim it, slice it correctly, so you slice it against the grain.
Did you hear? There's no vegetables in today's show. It's all meat.
It's all meat.
It's totally a guy's show. All right, we're going to start with that chicken rub. Now, you've got some ingredients laid out here, so why don't we go through those and tell me a little bit about what you have laid out.
Well, this is a celery salt that I use. This is a garlic salt, brown sugar, white pepper, paprika, and in the last one I combined onion powder, ground cumin, and grated lemon zest.
Oh, okay. All the good stuff that goes into the rub. Now, we're going to mix those together in a bowl, right?
Correct.
Let's start off and see how you make your chicken rub. Now, of course, if you need any of the quantities for these particular recipes you're going to see on today's show, northwestcookstv.com. You can find everything there, plus previous episodes of the show. And don't forget to check the website regularly. So we mix them all together in a bowl?
Correct.
All right. So you're going to actually combine them with something, or is it a dry rub?
It's a dry rub. And you just basically want to use your hands. That's God's tool.
Right. Perfect.
And get it mixed up as well as you can. Once you get it thoroughly mixed, then you can rub your chicken down with this olive oil that I have, brush it down, and then you rub this mixture onto the chicken.
Perfect. All right, so while Steve is mixing that, we will take a quick break, and I want you to take a look at this.
Mark Burnett, Cisco, Portland, with your cooking tip of the day. Now that you've gone out and got yourself some great knives, like these shuns, for example, razor sharp, you want to keep your safety is going to be your biggest thing here. So one thing with having a slick countertop is if you put the cutting board down, it's going to tend to move around on you. So for a safety standpoint, what you want to do is use a wet towel to put your cutting board on, and that keeps it from sliding around. So eliminates possibilities of an accident with a knife. Mark Burnett, Cisco, Portland, with your cooking tip of the day.
All right, Steve, so Buster's BBQ rub is ready for your chicken.
Right.
So what's the next stage?
Next stage is I like to take a little bit of olive oil. I like to brush that on the outside of the chicken just to give the rub something to adhere to. It kind of helps the process. Because you want to, after you put the rub on, you want to slip it in this plastic bag.
Okay.
And you want to let it set in your refrigerator. Make sure it's in the refrigerator, not on the counter.
Right.
For 4 to 6 hours. Let it kind of, the spices marinate and blend into the meat.
So if you're going to do a barbecue at home on a Sunday, let's say, this is something you're going to probably do Sunday morning.
Correct.
Stick it in the fridge and then pull it out about 3 or 4 in the
Sunday afternoon, you're ready to go.
Perfect. All right, so we've put olive oil now just on one side of the chicken, right?
Right.
On the skin
We're just
side.
going to go like this.
There's more of a sprinkle.
Sprinkle and then you rub.
And then you massage.
It's a sprinkle rub.
Sprinkle rub. And all that goodness is getting there in the skin.
Exactly. And after you get it on the skin side, I like to flip some and put it back on the cavity side also.
Nice.
So it's completely coated with some spice.
Now this will cook in on the grill. Now at Buster's, you have different ways of barbecuing. What are they?
Well, what we have is we have pits that we use. It's an indirect system. There's a firebox at the back of the cooking chamber. So there's no flame touching the meat.
Okay.
It's all done with indirect heat, and that's what real pit barbecue is. Grilling is a different type of cooking. That's more over direct coals, direct heat.
So, but this can be done in both ways?
It can be done both ways. You just have to be careful because you can scorch the skin on the outside if your coals are too hot. So you really want
a nice low heat.
A low heat. Usually you can do it on a Weber. Just what I like to do, if I use a Weber or any type of other barbecue unit, I try to set my coals off to one side and put the chicken on the grill and then go ahead and put your dome back on and watch your temperature.
Perfect.
Usually cook about 225, 250. You can go up to 275 if you like.
Nice.
And it usually takes about 4 to 5 hours to cook the chicken.
And all the juices.
Because it's slow. Right. I like to do it slow because it really holds the juices in.
Right. All right, so we're going to put these in the bags?
Yes, we are. You basically
This is not a very clean process.
No, it's not a clean process. It's one of those things that you have to be ready to get dirty. It's a dirty business, but it's worth it. In the long run, it is worth it.
So those go in the fridge for 4 to 6 hours?
That's correct.
Now, our second recipe today, when we come back on Northwest Cooks, we're going to be making the rib rub.
The rib rub, it's a combination rib rub and brisket rub.
Oh, and that's good meaty food when Northwest Cooks return.